So today I'm going to show you guys how to make kind of an intermediate wheat weaving. This is a wreath with a candle in it. So you start by taking 5 straws without heads and tie them together at the bottom with a piece of white thread. Clip off the excess thread. And then spread the straws so you have one pointing left, one pointing right, and 3 pointing straight up. And then in the straight up straws, move 2 to the left and leave 1 perfectly straight up. So take the right hand straw, you're going to fold it under the first upright straw, and then over the second one and under the third one. You're going to pull it down and you want to bend the straw so that there's about 1/2 inch. Bend it so it's up about 1/2 inch. And then you're going to take the second straw and fold that down to lay right above the straw that you just laid. And that straw, the first one you laid, fold that back up to lay on the left hand side of the upright straws. Then the very bottom straw on the right hand side, you'll fold that under the other one and fold that up. And you'll go over the first straw, under the second straw, to lay right above the other one on the right hand side. So then take that left upright straw, fold that over the second one, and lay it right above the one that you laid out to the right. And the bottom one, you're just going to fold back up to lay on the right hand side of the upright straw. So then taking the very bottom straw, fold it under the other one, and then the upright straws. So again, you'll go over the first one and under the second one. Just lay that back down, and then you'll take the outermost upright straw and lay that down to lay above the one you folded over. So take the bottom one and you'll fold that up to lay on the left hand side of the upright straw. And so then you just start once again, taking the very bottom straw, fold it under the other one. Then when you get up to the top, you'll go over the first one and under the second one. So over and under, just like that. And then fold down the left hand side to lay right above that. And the bottom one gets folded back up to lay on the right hand side of the upright. And then you just keep going, alternating left and right sides, making your little chain as you go. And you end up with this nice little rickrack chain. It's a really cool kind of raised pattern. So when you get your chain long enough to make your wreath, you just want to fold all the ends up and tie them off with some thread. Then cut off the excess straws and thread. Trim any pieces that might be sticking out, or you may have had to add extra straws. Then just bend the ends around, tie them off with a piece of white thread, and then while it's still wet, flatten it out so that the chain stitch lays flat, and then just put something heavy on it like a glass so that it dries in that flat shape. So for the candle, you want to take 6 straws, one with a small head on it, because that's going to be the candle flame. Tie those off right below the straw head, and then you're going to bend the straws down at evenly spaced intervals. Bend 5 of them down, and then the 6th one you'll just leave right up in the center because you're going to spiral weave around that. So you take 1 straw and bend it over 2, and then the one right next to it, you bend that one over the next 2, and then the one right behind it, you bend that over the next 2. Each time you're taking the second one of the 2 that you cross, so you bend over 2, so 1 and then 2. So the second one bends over the next 2, then 1, 2. So the second one bends over the next two. So 1, 2, second one bends over the next two. 1, 2, second one bends over the next two. 1, 2, and the second one bends over the next two. And you just keep going around and around and around, always taking the second straw and bending it over the next two, and you'll just keep winding that around that center straw, and that will end up giving you a nice little spiral weave. Once you get the hang of this one, you can actually weave really fast because you'll be weaving it around that center straw, and it gives you a really pretty little spiral design. So when your candle is as high as your wreath, fold the ends of the straws up and tie those off with some thread. Cut off the excess straws and thread, and then set your little candle on the front of your wreath and tie the bottom to the bottom of the wreath with some white thread. Then take a nice piece of ribbon, and you're just going to wind that around the spirals on that spiral weave that you did. So follow the spirals of the weaving, weave that up to the top, and then just tie off the ends at the top and the bottom, and take another small piece of ribbon and just tie a nice pretty little bow at the bottom to give a little bit of decorative flair. And then you have your nice little candle in a wreath, which you can either hang on the wall or use later on for Christmas tree decorations.